Hi and welcome to Empowered Movement and Health. I'm Esther. I'm a movement specialist and a Chinese medicine practitioner. I combine the two worlds, the one of movement and the one of holistic health, to help you feel your best from the inside out and from the feet up. Join me on the mat today. I've got a relaxing leg stretch for you. We're going to be lying down, so it's perfect for those days you feel a little bit low on energy, or maybe in an evening after work where you just want to relax, chill out, and have a good stretch. All you need is a resistant band or a theraband. You can also use a yoga strap or a long towel or a pair of leggings, something to take the weight of your leg. As we will be lying on our backs, make sure the floor is comfortable, it's not too hard or too cold, and grab a towel or a small pillow to put behind the head just in case, to make sure you feel comfortable and relaxed in your head and neck position. Join me on the mat, on your back, and let's get stretching. Feel free to put something behind the head for more comfortable head-neck position. Then you can bend your legs up. And we're going to start with our left leg. So I'm going to place my band or strap or a long t-shirt over my left foot, the arch here. And I want to have my elbows relaxed on the floor. So you just shorten the band to where you can have your elbows relaxed on the ground. My right leg can be bent, it can be hip width, it can be wider. You can also have it stretched out if that feels good on your back. Just make sure you don't squash the low back into the floor. So you want to have a little gap between the low back and the mat. And then bend and straighten your leg a few times. Inhale to bend and then exhale to stretch the leg. Think of opening the back of your leg. And when you bend, think of not just the knee bending. If you pull with the band, you can see the wrinkles here in your ankle. So you see the ankle bends, the knee, but also the hip. So your thigh, your quad should come closer to your chest. We often just think bending the leg is just a knee job, but we want to get the hip and the ankle involved too, so the knee doesn't do everything by itself. And then two more. And then go again, but bend the knee more out. So I'm thinking my knee is coming more to my shoulder. And then I stretch it back up. Knee more out, so it feels a bit different on the hip, on the inner thigh. You can have your right knee more out as a counterbalance if it feels wobbly. And then you think of bending the knee, but bring it more towards your right shoulder. So more across the body, which is going to feel a little bit more strange. And then stretch it up on that line. So that's when it goes a bit more onto the outer part of the leg. And I bend the knee in, thinking more across to my right shoulder. And then stretch. Obviously, it's not touching the right shoulder, just in that direction. More across the body. And then stretch. Two more again. And then you bring the leg back into the middle. You can just hold it here. You can think of pulling the toes slightly towards you. And then you draw little circles. So we stay here for a moment and we just draw little circles. And then we go the other way. Other direction, drawing little circles. And then pause in the middle again. And now we're going to do this in an external rotation. Your foot is going to turn out, so the heel's going to come in, and then your foot's going to turn in, so the heel's going to go out. So you go in and out like you're waving with your leg, but the whole leg is doing it. So if I hold my band just maybe with the right hand, I can put my left hand here on my hip crease or on my thigh even, and I should feel everything going in and everything rotating out. And again, maybe you can feel how it stretches differently into the legs, leg muscles, but also what it does to your hip, what it does to the pelvic floor, to the back, and maybe even to the other leg. You might notice when you rotate your leg in, internal rotation, you might notice that this hip might slide a little bit up. When you rotate the leg out, kind of drops back down into. And then we're going to keep the leg turned out. You can hold it with your left hand, both straps. Bend the right leg if it's not bent, and just let the knee go out to the right. And then you take this leg a little bit out to the side. So now it should be more inner leg, inner thigh. Socket. Doesn't matter if the leg is a little bit bent, you just go where you can. We take a few deep breaths here. Think of breathing down into the pubic bones, into the pelvic floor, into that inner thigh. Can we let it go? Can we open up? Can we relax? And then one more breath here. And draw that leg slowly back. And the right one as well. Right leg can be bent or straight again. Switch your hands. So I'm going to hold the band with my right. Left arm can be out. And I take the leg a little bit across. Only as far as I can keep this left bump cheek down. If I go further, then it's a twist for the spine. So I want to keep the left bump cheek down. I take that left leg a little bit across. And then just do tiny little in and out rotation to see where you get the stretch. Because sometimes when the leg is more turned out, you might not get the stretch so much into the outer part of the leg. I have to think of toes slightly in, and then I feel it more. But again, everyone's different, but you want the leg across the body to the right. So the stretch is more on the outside of that left leg. And again, you just stay for a few breaths. Toes can come to you. Again, that can give you a bit more stretch. And then 2 more breaths here. And then we slowly draw the leg back into the middle. Draw it in towards you again. A few more breaths here, just straight in the middle. And while you're here, bend your right leg, and then very small, again, I'm doing it a little bit bigger so you can see a bit more. Not moving my leg, I'm moving my pelvis. So I'm doing this rocking to 12 o'clock towards my foot, rocking the pelvis to 6 o'clock. I'm not clenching my bum. I just want to move a little bit the pelvis forwards and back, and you will feel the difference in the leg stretch. Your leg will gently move a little bit up and down, but again, I'm not doing it from the leg. It's kind of a response to the pelvis moving. Almost think like you want to keep the leg in the same position and you're moving your pelvis. You can feel now we've got the weight, the contact with the pelvis. As you rock your pelvis towards 12 o'clock, you feel the weight at the back when your sacrum goes more to that tip of that triangle. And as you rock your pelvis towards 6 o'clock, you feel the weight goes more to the wider part of that triangle. And then pause and release that leg. Slowly bring it in and just stretch it away and give everything a nice little shake. And then just notice the difference. Maybe that leg, for me, it feels nice and released and sort of heavy on the ground and a little bit longer. I've got one leg a little bit longer. My hip here also feels open and relaxed. So you might notice a release in other areas too. Let's go ahead and do the other side. So I bend my legs in. I take the band over my right foot now, ball of the foot. And again, you can just wrap the band around your hands and then relax your elbows down. Left leg can be bent, slightly out or straight. And just start by bending and straightening this right leg. And as you bend it, remember, it's not just the knee. So you want to feel that the thigh, the quad is coming closer to your chest. And you want to see a few wrinkles here in your ankle. And then we're going to take the knee and then go bending it more towards the right shoulder. So I open it more out to the side. You can always move your left leg a little bit out for counterbalance. And then you stretch it on that line, on that angle. So it should feel different in your hip, in your leg. And stretch. And when you stretch it out, you're trying to keep it as close to you as possible. And then one more here. And then exactly the same, but the knee comes more across. I'm thinking right knee towards left shoulder. And then I stretch it on that angle. And it might feel a little bit weird to do it this way. And it's not a big angle, it's just a slight direction change. You should feel a little bit more around the outer leg and outer hip. Your right bum does stay on the floor. And then one more. And then we're going to bring the leg back into the middle. Straight leg here in the middle. Again, left leg can always be bent. Toes towards you. Hold this hamstring stretch. And just draw small little circles. Think of letting the leg really relax into the band so you don't have to hold it. It's just tiny circles, just to get a bit of movement again, so you feel the stretch in the different areas of the back of the leg. So try to let the leg be heavy and relaxed in the band. And then we circle it the other way. And then pause back in the middle here. And now we're going to rotate the leg in and out. I'm going out, I'm going in. As I rotate it in, I see the foot go in, I see the shin go in, I see the knee go in, the thigh go in. And you can hold the strap with the left hand, and you can have your right hand here on your hip or on your thigh, and then you feel that move as well. You might notice when you rotate the leg in, that hikes that hip a little bit up, so you feel that the hip comes a bit up towards your rib cage. Then as you rotate it out, kind of sinks a little bit more down. And then 2 more here. And then keep it turned out. You bend your left leg and you open it out to the side as a counterbalance. I take the band, the strap into my right hand, and then I open the leg out to the right. So it's more inner thigh, groin opening. And then think of kind of pushing the little toe into the band. So your foot again does that bit of supination, that bit of banana foot shape. And that can also give you a bit more stretch into the inner leg. Then you can play around and go in and out with the foot. And we just stay here for a few breaths. The leg is slightly bent, that works as well. You want to get that inner thigh, that groin, pelvic floor. You might feel the opening and the release as well. And you think of your pelvis heavy, your bum relaxed, your legs heavy, relaxed into the floor. Last breath. And then slowly bring it back in. Also, your other leg, it can be bent or it can be straight. You can switch your hands and then you take that right leg a little bit across to the left. Doesn't have to be as high. For me, for example, if I bring it as high as I can, I get less stretch. I go a little bit lower and I actually get more stretch into the outer leg and all the way into the hip. And again, check here. You can rotate a bit more down, a bit more up. I think pushing the big toe into the band, pushing the little toe into the band, and find the spot where you feel it the best. Trying to keep my right bum cheek down. You don't have to be static in this stretch. You can add little movements, little circles, play around, find where it's best for you. And then one more breath again. Then slowly bring it back into the middle. Bend your left leg if it's not bent already. And then you can hold the strap again, one in each side. Settle back into just a straightforward hamstring stretch. But then we keep the leg, or think you keep the leg in the same spot, and you just tuck your pelvis a little bit forwards and back. So you're rocking the pelvis towards you, towards your belly button, towards 6 o'clock, and then forwards towards 12 o'clock, towards your pubic bones or towards your foot. Again, the leg will move because you're moving your pelvis, but you think of the motion initiating from your pelvis. You rock your way to the tip of your sacrum, the pointy bit of the triangle, and then towards the flat bit of your triangle of your sacrum. And as you do that here, notice if you feel the spine move, notice if you feel the head slide up and down the floor. So moving our pelvis in this forward and back motion, even if it's a tiny motion, has a ripple effect on the rest of the body in a good way. But if it doesn't move, it also has a ripple effect on the whole of the body in not such a good way, or not as a favorable way. And then one more. And slowly can take that leg out of the band now, lower it down, move the band away, stretch out the leg. And again, just maybe have a little wiggle around. And then take a moment to feel in. How does this leg feel now? Hopefully also more open. Maybe it's heavier. Maybe it feels long as well. And then go back to a full body stretch. Give your legs a little wiggle in and out like you're waving with your feet. And you can sort of wiggle them a little bit up and down. And then hug them in one last time. I hope you enjoyed this stretch. If you want more, check out my website, www.estherviget.com. On my website, you'll get access to live classes, recordings of live classes, and you can join my membership. In my membership, I've got lots of movement videos, mindfulness practices, acupressure massage videos, and audio meditations as well. All is there for you to feel your best from the inside out and from the feet up. Have a great week and see you next Sunday. Bye for now.